So he's
So
aware
they
of
know they're being targeted.
So doesn't the Americans still have a program?
No.
They're not officially, right?
No, they don't.
No, they just don't.
They actually don't. And the reason why is because politically they wouldn't be caught dead standing next to a psychic.
Yeah.
It's
Excuse me.
it's just never going to happen. If you're caught dealing with a psychic in the political climate of the capital, your career's dead. You might as well just chuck it in and go home. As a congressman or a senator or anything. Or if you like the deputy director of an agency or something and you're caught dealing with psychics, you might as well just chuck your career away because you're going to get replaced sometime in the next month. Because you're nuts. You can't be trusted. You lose your clearance.
I just wanted to thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I enjoyed it.
You're welcome. And the funny thing about that is the people that have never lost their clearance over this, me, a couple of the others, they're afraid if they take our clearance, they can't use us in some future scenario, or they won't be able to bring me into a building somewhere and talk to me or something. And they still try that. And I always say, where's your checkbook? You didn't think I was going to come in here and do this for free, did you?
So did they stop it after it was exposed? Is that kind of what was the
Yeah. They
factor
put,
in that?
well, here's what happened. The Congress said this rightfully should be under the managerial authority of the CIA. The CIA should be managing this. And the CIA's been tasking it for 19 years. You should be managing, actually they were tasking it for 23 years. They should be managing it because it's a human asset. And the CIA said, we wouldn't touch this with your 10-foot pole. Yeah, we'll use it, but we're not going to touch it. And Congress said, no, you misunderstood here. We tell you what to do, you don't tell us what to do. And so the director of the CIA said, well, okay, we'll review it. And the program died within 6 months. It was set up to take the fall, and it took the fall. Actually, what they did is they said, they talked Congress into letting them evaluate its condition. And the two evaluators they picked were the two skeptics that hate it the most. And then the only thing they let them review was a half a box of files that were unclassified. They weren't allowed to see any of the operational files. And they were given direct orders not to speak to any of us. Now, how do you evaluate a program?
That you can't speak to anybody who's in it.
Well, not only that, but everything was classified. And now they said, well, we're going to release all the files, just to show you it's meaningless, we're going to release all the files of Stargate. We're going to release all 70,000 pages. Well, there's about 800,000 pages, and they don't tell you that.
Well, I've got the ones that they did release, if I ever get the time to just look at them.
Well, and that's the other thing, they tore all the documents apart. You know, it was a 10-page document, they made it 10 documents. And then shuffled it all together in a big mess, and you can't reconstitute anything.
The only reason I got them is to see what you guys had learned about PK. And I haven't found that in there yet.
We learned that if you want to start playing in PK, you better have some bottomless pockets. Because here's the thing, like you want to develop an experiment where you absolutely prove PK, you need a target that you can PK. And so we took the simplest PK target known to man, which is a strain gauge, an engineering strain gauge. That's something where you just move it a little bit and it creates a huge squealing noise electronically. And we took a strain gauge, an engineering strain gauge, and we put it in shielding, and put the shielding in shielding. And we floated it on an air mattress so it's not touching anything. We put that inside shielding, put that on top of something. By the time we got it to where we thought it was completely shielded from every other effect known to man, it cost us $385,000. We ran an experiment and affected it, and then found out that it could have been 3 other possibilities that we hadn't accounted for, which would have cost us another $500,000 to do for that. So we said, that's almost $1 million. You know how many remote viewing experiments you can do for $1 million? Forget it. If somebody wants to play in PK, that's their business.
Well, I work with cardiac monitors, and I've had multiple sessions, events, and the last one was documented or witnessed by a physician behind me and 2 other people. But my complexes will show up on the screen, and we recognize that's not the patient, and just their parameters.
Yeah.
And so they do that, and then when we defibrillate somebody, the more we defibrillate, the less resistance there is, it's known, going in through that chest wall, through that muscle. So it seems to me that it would make sense that the same thing would happen in reverse. And so what happens is when I have an AI, I can feel, I know what it feels like, and I know the difference between chest, and I've had a heart cath. I know the difference between chest wall pain and angina. But I can feel, I'll have an AI, and I'll feel the twinge, and the energy will leave my chest, and as I understand, we're DC energy, and that, I'm not an electrician, but that's AC, and I interrupt that current. The last time I did it, I fried my laptop. I learned a hard lesson because, number one, I got a laptop and I was free.
I'm not saying there's not
Yeah, so anyway.
billions of examples of anecdotal things. Yeah, my wife walked in the door one day and it cost me $2,600. So I got the water heater, the sliding glass door, the refrigerator, I mean, half the equipment in the house just by walking by it, and a radio played. It wasn't even plugged in. That's great. But to prove PK, you have to set an experiment up that's totally controlled, and you have to have somebody come in and affect something.
Does Scooter have
It's
any idea
never
what
happened.
she does?
Huh?
Does she have any idea what she does when
No,
it happens?
no. And it may not be her at all. You have to understand, it may be some agreement she has with the equipment. That's what I was saying before. It's a huge leap to make the assumption we're causing it, when in fact it may just be the consciousness in the device that decides, this person's upset. I think I'll give them something to cheer them up, or whatever. We know, in all probability, subquantum particles have consciousness. And if enough of them decide to do something that's abnormality happens. Because humans are standing there, does it mean humans did it? No, you can't make that leap. And so many people go, but I did it. I was focusing on it. Well,
So it could be the machine saying hi.
right. It could just be the machine communicating back.
My laptop knew I
We've
loved
never,
it.
but we've never allowed for that. You know, it's like I get this beautiful thing on the internet. I just got it. It's wonderful. There's this fisherman off the coast of Australia who freed a great white from a net. This female great white, she's 12 meters long. She's huge. This is a monster great white. And she was all tangled in this fishing net and dying because she couldn't keep moving forward. And he jumped in the water and cut the net loose, and she still has the scars across her face and her throat. But he freed her. That shark knows him from all other human beings. All he has to do is step in a boat, she shows up. He's a fisherman. He can't fish anymore. I'm not kidding. And you should see this shark rolling up on the side of his boat with all of her teeth exposed and her jaw open and her head back, and he's scratching her between the eyes.
No.
They have a relationship. This shark is I love you, you saved my life. Everywhere he goes, he's in a little kayak and his shark's right behind him. You know, it's like they're
I hope
buds.
she doesn't decide to kiss him.
He kisses her on the nose.
Well, you know,
Yeah, this is a big shark. Obviously, there's a lot about great whites we don't have a clue about. You know, all I'm saying is we made such huge assumptions about things, you know, and God, we're so arrogant.
we are.
You know?
Well, it just seemed to me that I knew that current left me, and the AC was right there, and the laptop fired up.
Yeah.
So it seemed like, and if my laptop did that, it better quit because it committed suicide. Because it fried it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's no reason not to believe in it because there's plenty of anecdotal material. But in terms of proving it, no, it's never been proven. You know, it's like spoon bending.